Today's episode of the BS Podcast is brought to you by SeatGeek, our presenting sponsor, the only fan-friendly app for buying and selling tickets for sports and music. It's October. Sal, what do you like more, October or April?
October. You have to have football.
I do too. Baseball, football, basketball, NFL, college football. You need SeatGeek for all of those things. Drop your old ticket app. Use one that's built for 2016. Buy tickets, enter stadiums on your phone. Download the free SeatGeek app or go to SeatGeek.com. Today's episode also brought to you by Stamps.com, our old friend. Stop relying on the post office. Just buy and print official U.S. postage using your own computer and printer. Sign up for Stamps.com right now. Use the promo code BS for a 4-week trial plus a $110 bonus offer. That includes postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage. Type in BS. Don't forget about Any Given Wednesday. That's my HBO show this week. Michael Rappaport, Doug Baldwin, and Joel McHale coming on Wednesday, HBO, 10 p.m. Be there. For great reads in sports, pop culture, tech, and politics, I hope you're checking out theringer.com, and I hope you subscribe to our new podcast, Ringer University. We hired Chris Vernon. He's doing the Friday college football podcast.
Nice.
Lives in Memphis. Big Tennessee fan, obviously.
Oh, boy.
That game. Let's talk about that, actually. Let's go. Oh, I don't have any music.
No music.
Yeah, we're in year 2 of the BS podcast. I need new music. If
maybe you should sing some Pearl Jam or something. That should be a start.
You know what's how Joe made an email address for us, bspodmusic@gmail.com.
He did that?
bspodmusic@gmail.com. If you're an aspiring musician out there and you have a 12-second riff that you think we should use, we did this with Ronald Jenkins on the old BS report. Which became our theme for like 4 or 5 years. So,
and you have to be aspiring. It's important that you're aspiring.
Yeah.
Don't waste anyone's time.
Don't have already aspired.
Yeah.
We want you to still aspire.
Still
be
aspiring in the process.
Sal, we're gonna do this on Monday.
Yeah.
I think we just like Mondays more.
We do like Mondays.
I like
more.
reacting to the weekend. I didn't love doing it in the middle of the week. I felt like I didn't know we were going backwards or forwards. Mm-hmm. And now it's like we get you on Monday. Ezekiel Elliott looks like Emmitt Smith 2.0.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to do this. We're going to try to do this on Mondays.
Okay.
And one of the reasons is it's fun to react to the weekend. But also, like, I don't know, stuff changes over the course of the week.
Yeah.
That's why I have the Friday podcast on it. We're going to move it to Mondays. Plus, we have baseball playoffs, Ryder Cup. So I watch college football.
Plus, many of our listeners are a-holes who demand that we do this on Monday.
That's true. People want it on a Monday.
Yeah.
I watched Tennessee versus Georgia. I watched like the last 2 minutes.
Right.
And that was that like a top 5 college football ending in the last 10 years?
Yeah, and it was like 3 endings. And I don't know if you saw it live. I went Facebook Live. My friend Brad is a big Tennessee fan.
Yeah.
And was watching the game even yesterday. Had an earpiece in. Was watching the game for the 4th time on his phone while glancing up at the 8 games that we were supposed to be watching.
It would have been such a bad loss because the guy gets beat on a 50-yard pass for no reason at all. And then that was one of the best Hail Mary catches I've ever seen.
It really was. But Georgia did a bad job on that. I don't know how much is devoted towards in a practice for playing against a Hail Mary. Like 5 minutes a year? Like how much do you see a coach pulling guys aside like, all right, I'm just gonna throw it up in the end zone. We're gonna work on this till we get it right.
Or interfere with him if it seems like he's gonna catch it. Just deck him.
Yeah.
But I thought the tall guy they put in was too far behind the line of scrimmage. Mm-hmm. It seems like, or behind the goal line. It seems like they should be on the 1 yard behind the goal line, and then you can move back if you have to, or move up. Or
one thing teams should do is they should rush the quarterback. Like have a concentrated rush on the quarterback on the Hail Mary. We saw it yesterday with Arizona. They had one more shot against the Rams, and Drew Stanton was forced to throw it further than his speedster receivers can get there.
Yeah.
And there was no one in sight. And
that was smart. Yesterday was a lot of football. Fortunately, Pittsburgh ended it in the first half, so we didn't have to watch.
But why didn't we have Pittsburgh? Yeah, it's such an obvious game we should have had.
Why don't we have any of these teams? I don't understand.
Are we sure anyone's good? Sure anyone? Like the Steelers coming off a big loss. They got hammered. They're coming home. They have a high-power offense. We should have been all over that.
I did terrible the last 2 weeks, but in my defense, I didn't like any of the games even as I was trying to pick them. I actually like week 5. I think I'm going to have a good week 5. That just couldn't figure out. You've all these weird matchups of teams that I don't know what to make out of them. Mm-hmm. I thought the weirdest game was Atlanta, Carolina. Look, Cam's obviously been beaten up.
Mm-hmm.
their secondary isn't quite the same. Their offensive line isn't quite the same. Like, I get it. They're not going to be quite as good as last year. It's going to take them a while to round into form. But 48 points is kind of perplexing.
Yeah.
This is a team that we thought was one of the best 4 teams. Like, they just got torched. Give up 500 yards passing. And usually when somebody gets 500 yards passing, they're playing from behind the whole game. This was like just a legit 500. It could have gone for 550.
They didn't take their foot off the gas.
Yeah.
Hats off to them. But, yeah, this is what happens with teams like Carolina. It happens with Seattle. You build this great defense, and every year you lose 1 or 2 free agents. They lost Josh Norman and the guy, the crazy Captain Summerlin. I mean, they you know, it's going to happen. They're built towards the middle, and they don't have a pass rush, and it's bad when you have rookies, you know, covering speedster receivers.
Atlanta, I don't know why, but I'm still not convinced. I still can't talk myself into it. I need like another 24 hours.
Yeah.
You know, like the Raiders beat them in week 1. Oh, no.
No.
Tampa beat them in week 1.
So, I mean, there's like
Then
7 games we could be like, what's going on?
Yeah.
There are about 7 what the fuck games. Tampa, Atlanta, I'd say Texans, Patriots is one of those games. Who else?
That was pretty fluky. I got for tier 1 this week.
Go ahead.
The Broncos, Steelers, Vikings, and the Pats. I'm not throwing away the Pats because
Broncos, Steelers. Right. So no Eagles yet.
No Eagles yet. I got
those are my 4 also. Yep.
Tier 2, I have the Packers, Seahawks, Eagles. Are they really the 7th best team? Are we ready to say that yet?
I don't know.
I don't feel good about that. Tier 3, I got the Cowboys, Giants, Raiders, Texans, Falcons.
I might go Raiders tier 2. Did you have the Ravens even in tier 3?
I had them in tier 4.
I think they
You think they might be pretty good?
I think the AFC wild card is going to be a great race. Who do you put in there? I think the Raiders are in there, and you have to go one of the AFC North teams, and even Buffalo and you know Kansas City are making noise. Buffalo's not bad all of a sudden.
Buffalo's
Weird
not
team.
bad, and you know what's funny is that they started 0-2, but they lost 2 games in 5 days. The second game was like a Thursday nighter.
Yeah.
And then we all wrote them off.
They had a bad week, right?
Although you did pick them in Cousin Sal's short thing in week 3.
Yeah, back when I was winning. But yeah, no, when we had the Patriots locked, what kind of parlay? Crazy House had us. We did some parlay with which golfer? I don't even know.
Oh, we did it with Stenson.
Was it Stenson that won?
Yeah.
I didn't even check it, but obviously you don't like losing, but that's good for the league, isn't it? When a team with their third string quarterback just doesn't beat up on everybody.
It's a weird game. The Pats start out their kick returner 2 straight times, can't get it out of the 10-yard line. Mm-hmm. You know, and then Buffalo had one good drive, and then Brissett had a killer fumble, had one giant long pass that gets called back. It was just, I don't know. You score 16 points on the road and you win.
Right.
It's good, but it's not. I wouldn't be telling my grandkids about that one. Brissett obviously wasn't right. The ball was sailing all over the place.
Yeah.
I think he has a chance. I still want to know what happened with Jimmy and why he didn't play. Because they were counting on him to play the whole week, and then all of a sudden he wasn't
About
playing.
an hour before, right?
It was just a little strange.
And the line went from 5.5 to like 3.5, 4 because like Garoppolo's a 1.5 point swing. It's weird.
Did make me wonder, like he had his 6 quarters. They were great. He has his resume tape for this winter, and maybe that's enough. Maybe the Pats didn't want him to play.
Yeah.
If he was like 50%, maybe it would have hurt his trade value. If he comes out, he throws 4 picks against the Bills. Maybe his agent doesn't want him to play. I don't know. All week they thought he was playing, then all of a sudden he's not playing.
I mean, isn't Belichick so arrogant that he might even come out and say that? So look, I know this is contrary to how we're supposed to do things, but we don't want him to play because we're going to trade him.
I will say their defense. I didn't love what I saw in that game from them from a tackling standpoint. Yeah, even though they only give up 16, that's a game where the defense just had. That's why we bet on them. Defense just has to take care of business in that game. Steelers look great,
unbelievable, dangerous.
The Steelers are one of those teams in the first 5 minutes, and that was one of those. Oh, all right.
Yeah, right. And they go for 2, and they do weird things. Like they're way better than everyone else, I think.
And how about the Broncos? Simeon gets hurt. Lynch comes in, looks basically exactly the same as Simeon. Both of them are better than Peyton Manning was last year.
Right.
That team is clearly the best team.
That was
right
my
now.
biggest swing and miss there. That was my whiff. I had
Bucks?
them under 9 wins.
Oh.
Nah, Denver. Yeah, I like the Bucks too, but Denver under 9, and I don't know if they lose a game.
Well, we knew between Broncos, Panthers, Cardinals, you knew one of those teams was going to swoon.
Right.
It looks like 2 of them might swoon. Carolina's got banged up Cam already. Some real offensive line issues, some real run game issues. Stewart's still out though. Some quarterback issues. Arizona, the Palmer thing, which was one of the only things I've been right about through the first 5 weeks. Like Palmer's just not the same, the same guy. Their blocking isn't the same. They look sloppy.
Yeah.
And I think if I'm a Cardinals fan, I would be more concerned than if I was a Panthers fan. If I'm a Cardinals fan, I'm freaking out right now.
Definitely. But both. I mean, it's October 3rd, and we may be asking Derek Anderson and Drew Stanton to save Carolina and Arizona's seasons. Isn't it weird? Like if they
Drew
go 1
Stanton
and 4.
came in there like he's a 10-year veteran. I'm like, what? Yeah. I still felt like he was young Drew Stanton.
Right, I know.
10-year veteran.
I know.
Yeah,
That was a bizarre game too.
The Rams are better than the Rams are better, a little better than people thought they were going to be.
I mean, I wrote them off obviously after the 28-0 loss to San Francisco week 1, but Case Keenum shouldn't be going on the road making no mistakes. And this
True.
seems to happen every week with these quarterbacks. We have to readjust to the new NFL.
So they have home for Buffalo.
This is the Rams, yeah.
Which good luck going to that game if it's over 85 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
At Detroit, at the Giants in London, bye week. And for whatever reason, Detroit just remember there was like some Stafford. Wow, Jim Bob Cooter, he saved Stafford here, and he's been just atrocious the last 2 games, and
Right.
that's one of the 3 worst teams in the league now.
Well, we'll get to this game. Very, very fishy line coming up.
Okay.
Let me just say, if you're having trouble betting these games, you're not alone. 7 underdogs won outright,
Yeah.
and no favorites won and didn't cover. So basically, don't even think about the line. Just look at the matchup. Whoever you like, take.
What was the home team? Like 5? 5 home teams covered and won or something?
Is that what it was? Yeah.
I think
probably sounds
the
right.
road teams cleaned up this week.
Yeah.
I have for my bottom tier, Jags. Would you put them in the bottom?
I don't know. How big is this tier? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I have 6 teams in this tier.
Oh, wow.
The Jags were the one I wasn't sure of. I'll give you the ones I was sure of. The Browns, the Bears, the Lions, the 49ers, and the Colts. I think that's your worst 5 right now. Jags, Dolphins, Chargers.
Maybe they're in a different tier.
Lingering.
Right.
So would you put those 5? Would you put the
think-
Colts in the bottom 5?
I think, oh, man. I give them,
don't the
give
Colts
them
have
one,
to be one of the worst 5 teams?
Give them one tier up, but they're a mess.
Why
And the
though? What do they have that make you want to give them one tier up?
I don't know. I guess is that Division 1? I mean, we went over it last week. Like if Tennessee could beat the Texans, they have a shot to win that division. But now the Texans are 3-1. Everyone else is 1-3. I don't know. I guess you
Titans
do put
could have
them.
won that. Titans could have won that game.
Yeah. The Texans let you back in these games. It's very weird how they do this.
They
Like how-
won because of that kick return.
Yeah.
I will say that Lombardi was right. They have no receivers with speed. Mariota doesn't. I don't know if it's the coaching or what's going on. They might have the worst coaches.
Well, he can't throw downfield. They don't do him any favors either with Tajay Sharp. Like this is going to
Right.
turn the organization around. Like they should help him out. And the Colts don't do Andrew Luck any. I looked and they did draft the offensive lineman, a center this year. In 2014, the second round they took a guard, but Andrew Luck is running for his life back then. He's actually doing a good job, I think, avoiding the sack when he can. But
I feel bad for him.
He doesn't have a chance.
No.
And the coach and the GM both signed extensions.
It's one of those
It's a
teams.
weird organization.
Yeah, it's one of those teams when they put 7 guys on the line to rush them. You just know it's going to end badly because they just can't block everybody.
Yeah.
For first coach fired, McCoy is in the lead now because they just keep blowing games. Caldwell, Malarkey, I would say that's the top 3.
Those are the
Pagano
3.
and Bradley.
Yeah,
But
I think Ryan and
Ryan saved himself
Ryan
for a
saves
few
Bradley
weeks.
a little too in London. But I feel bad for those Chargers. That to me reminds me of the Cowboys of the AFC. That's
Yeah.
a sad 1-3. They put
2
together.
straight killer fumbles.
Yeah.
That game was basically over. I actually had decided to start
Turned it
ignoring
off,
it.
too.
It was going to go for a nice walk with the dogs and my wife. And then all of a sudden it's 34-28 and the Saints have the ball inside the 10.
Unbelievable.
John Kuhn is doing stuff.
3 touchdowns for John Kuhn. So which of the 1 and 3 teams would you least be surprised they made the playoffs? So you mentioned teams that are just out of it. Detroit, Chicago, San Diego, Tampa Bay, Miami, Tennessee, San Francisco. So out of Arizona, the Jets, Carolina,
I wouldn't rule out Tampa yet. I don't know why.
and Tampa. Huh.
I just think they had a tough schedule, and 9 wins could get an NFC wild card. So it's tougher for me to rule out NFC teams.
And they did beat the NFC
AFC
South
is going to
leader.
take 10, and it might even take 11.
Yeah, I love that wild card run for the
NFC, you could see 9 and 7 sneak in with something. Mm-hmm. I mean, your team, if you can you get to 10 wins?
Sure. Yeah.
Remember when we thought the NFC East was going to suck?
Yeah, well, this is the easiest the Cowboys have had as far as an early schedule. Like, I don't remember. Like, they beat teams that combined 4 and 8, I think.
Your defense just might be terrible.
The
but
defense?
It's hard to say
the best
it.
they've played.
I know, it's hard to even tell.
Mo Claiborne, our worst first-round pick of all time, like, played out of his mind.
I will say one thing with the Cowboys. I like the sideline reactions.
Yeah.
It seems like they're locked in. You get
Everyone's
20,
playing their
25
part,
guys
right.
like doing fist pumps after big
Exactly.
plays. Garrett was locked in.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing we discussed, like the 14-0. When your rookie quarterback goes down 14-0, can he bring it back, or 10-0?
Yeah.
He did that, so that's nice to look at.
We're going to do the week 5 lines, but first, you never know when burglars are watching your house. Maybe they noticed a couple of Amazon packages piling on your front step. Maybe they noticed nobody's parked in your driveway for a couple days. Well, if you have SimpliSafe home security system, you don't have to worry about that stuff. SimpliSafe protects your family, 24/7 professional security monitoring, and enough sensors to defend your entire home. No long-term contracts, no hidden fees, just $14.99 a month, 3 times less than most other security companies. Protect your home the right way. Visit simplysafebs.com. SimpliSafe, 2 I's. Go right now, and you also get free shipping on your order and a free keychain remote worth $25. It only takes 1 minute. You'll have a 60-day risk-free trial. SimplysafeBS.com. Again, SimplysafeBS.com. A lot of burglaries in LA lately.
There are?
Yeah, there's been a burglary run right now in the LA
That's
area.
a helicopter
Yeah,
flies over
it's a
us.
helicopter flies over us. Yeah, so check out SimpliSafe. All right, week 5 lines.
All
You know,
right.
part of the reason I wanted to switch to Mondays is because you were killing me on Wednesdays.
This is going to be...
I had to do something to swing.
I am 4-0, and
You're 4-0. That's terrible.
never happened.
I just can't play on Thursdays.
All right,
apparently.
I understand. But I also feel we should get a bye after having woke up at 6 a.m. to watch that London game.
I got to be
You
honest.
and I should get a bye. You didn't watch it?
I skipped the first quarter.
You did.
I actually forgot.
I saw the kickoff. I did the thing. I had the
It was
volume all the way
7-0. I
down.
immediately locked out. I was like, fucking Andrew Luck. God damn that guy.
Bortles was good. He wasn't that bad yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, it was fun. He was running for first downs. He kicked the ball into the stands. You don't get a flag. He was doing good things.
The Colts are awful.
Yep.
I tweeted this yesterday, but I just, everybody's got like, what, 120 million with the salary cap or something? Mm-hmm. I don't understand how you're bad in every category on your team.
Yeah.
Like, they have luck, but if you were like, what's the second best thing the Colts do? I don't know. They have a terrible pass rush. They can't cover anyone. They can't tackle.
Right.
They don't really have a good running game. They don't have any great receivers. T.Y. Hilton's a number 2 receiver that is a number 1 on that team.
Yeah.
It's just strange.
Yeah, and Gore still produces. It's strange. It's like you say, oh, they're old. They have like DeQuell Jackson and Gore, but these guys, like, they're not the problem. I don't know what it is really.
So Thursday night, I assume there's not a line on this because it's at Arizona at San Francisco, and Palmer got his bell rung. And I can't imagine he's going to play on Thursday night. You can't recover from a concussion in 5 days.
I haven't seen anything that says he's going to play. Like, everything says we're going to be cautious and it's a short week. But I'm going to give you this one because I did see a line. I thought it'd be, and I considered with Palmer being out, San Francisco I thought would be favored by 1.5. You said Arizona would be favored by 1.
Yes.
It's Arizona favored by 1.5.
Wow, so I win this one.
Yeah, you won that one.
The Niners,
Do we have to do something special for this Thursday game?
it's an awful game.
No. Is that,
Like
promotion-wise? Don Julio? You can cut that
We
out
can
of it.
either
Oh,
no. We can either do the Don Julio for tonight's Monday night game, or we can do Thursday, or we can do both.
Interesting.
You want to just do our Don Julio shot of the week now?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do for both night games. This is our shot of the week presented by Don Julio.
Now you're 2-2. I'm 1-3 in these shot of the weeks.
All right, so maybe we make it so you can pick either Monday or Thursday.
Okay. All right, good.
That's good. So the Monday night game is, what is it?
It's Minnesota home, favored by 4.5.
Minnesota home by 4.5 over the Giants.
Yeah.
And then this other one is Cards 1 over the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the all-time stayaways. I'm going to take the Giants for my Don Julio shot.
You're taking that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to take them. Now, you know what?
Can you take the Don Julio shot back?
I just threw the shot over my shoulder.
Don Julio.
You know what? The Cardinals aren't going to go 1-4.
All right.
I'm taking the Cards. Whatever the line is, they'll figure it out.
We're going head-to-head here. I'm taking San Francisco.
Okay.
I think they stick that stake
What,
right
they
in the
impressed
chest.
you yesterday?
Yeah. They were really good. No, I don't.
Can I switch my pick?
This is bad. And
You just talked me into it.
no, come on. What, are you going to switch games and picks?
Now, the Cardinals, they're really going to go 1-4?
I think they are.
What did you see from the Niners that
love them
impressed
too.
you?
I love them this year.
What did you see from the Niners
It
that
doesn't
impressed you in the
matter.
Dallas game?
Nothing at all. No.
What did they do well? They lost Bowman.
Yeah, Bowman's out with a torn Achilles, right?
Yeah, it
I
seems
just
like
think
it.
3 days they're home. They'll figure out a way to win.
It's an incredible moment when the Niners, 4th and 6 to win the game, or to stay alive in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And Gabbert throws a 3-yard out to Torrey Smith, who gets tackled. I had a couple questions. One, why hasn't Torrey Smith passed the first down line? What's he doing 3 yards?
Right.
And then Gabbert throwing it. The whole thing was bizarre. Like, on that play, just throw like a moon ball up
I
for
didn't mind that
grabs.
play
Try
at
to
all.
get a PI or something.
Yeah, I like that play. I didn't mind it.
Sure you did.
All right. Go to the Sunday games. 4 bye teams now. Jacksonville, Kansas City, New Orleans, and Seattle.
Who needed the bye week the most? I would say Kansas City.
Well, it's weird. Do you want the bye after London or do you want it before London? Because Jacksonville gets it, but the Colts don't. I think you want it before.
Yeah, why did they do it that way?
I don't know. It
I
shouldn't
would
be that
rather have the
hard.
bye afterwards.
After?
Yeah, because the London flight screws you up.
Yeah, but you're getting, I guess. Yeah,
I
you
was
come
messed
back
up for
later.
like a month after
Really?
I came back
All
from
right.
London.
Yeah, but they didn't get it either. So the Colts are, we should keep that in mind. But let's discuss Seattle for a second.
Yeah.
They were impressive. I mean, I had the Jets. That was dumb.
No, it wasn't dumb.
No, that was
You
the
had a great
zigzag pick that everybody was on.
Well, it became by Sunday. It
that's
became
what
super
sucked.
sexy.
Yeah, right. I hated that. But
But we don't know that on Thursday.
and we didn't also know that Jimmy Graham, we were going to see the 2012-13 Jimmy Graham. Who
Yeah.
made like 3 of the best catches this year.
For
2
me,
of them
that came
counted.
down to Danny Kelly made a great. By the way, I really enjoyed the Ringer NFL show on Friday with Danny Kelly and Mays. I hadn't listened to it before, and Danny Kelly gets super, football nerdy on some of the stuff, which
Right.
I liked. And one of his cases was like just how hard it's going to be for the Seahawks offensive line against any great defensive line. He's like, I think the Jets can dominate this game. And I'm listening to him thinking, Wilson can't move. They're not going to be able to block. Like the Jets D-line should just take this game. And then you see Wilson, he looks fine. And then
Yeah.
you read I read Peter King's thing today talking about how Wilson, basically his therapist, like slept in his house.
Right.
And he's just constantly doing, and basically he was fine. He was like 80%.
And they had great
We
play.
couldn't have known that.
The play calling was great. Like a lot of underneath routes, a lot of short stuff. I said Jimmy Graham and this Christine Michael is excellent back there. They're going to be good.
Yeah, he has my $29 from our fantasy auction that I
does.
spent on Thomas Ross.
Oh, right.
He runs around the $29 falling
You're
out
in a
of his
good
pants.
spot. What did you say? I think you tweeted yesterday.
I only need 32 points from Darkwa, and I win this week.
That's a
Who was
real
Darkwa?
player.
I don't even know who Darkwa's first name is.
It's Orleans, I think.
Orleans Darkwa.
Yeah.
If he has 160 yards and 3 TDs, I'm in. I
he'll
win
do
it.
it.
Yeah,
He'll do
you've got this, Orleans.
That's great.
Darkwa.
All right, so Sunday, Washington at Baltimore's first game.
So you like this Ravens team a tiny bit more than I do. But I hate this
ahead.
Skins team. I think their defense is awful, and I can't believe. First of all, how did they cover that? That one hurt.
No.
I don't know how the Browns didn't win it, much less cover it.
The Browns know they don't have to not cover. They could just tank the season. They could just lose games and cover, and they'll still get the first pick, right?
So frustrating.
I think we both nailed this. You said
I have Ravens by 4.
and I had them by 4, and it's 3.5. That's probably fair.
That's a game that if the Ravens are serious about maybe making a wild card run, you have to win this specific game. Yeah.
Right. Sort of a rivalry, too. There's going to be Washington fans. It'll be interesting. All right, Tennessee at Miami.
I'm still not ready to give up on Tennessee yet.
Wow.
Even though...
Same team every week.
I know. So here, they lose to the Vikes. They had a lead in that one. They beat the Lions. Hung tough with the Raiders. Lost 17-10. Yesterday, really had a chance to beat the Texans. That punt return,
right,
or kick return, whatever it was, killed them. They're not getting blown out in these games.
No.
And they can run the ball. I don't think Mariota can be as bad as he was this first month. They had a lot of young guys. The problem is their coaches are awful.
They have a pretty easy
what am I
schedule.
talking about?
I don't know.
It just feels like 8-8 could keep you in the mix in the AFC South. I don't like this Texans team.
That's the only thing going, I think. This game
it's
is
funny.
terrible.
Both of our instincts were right before the season. I like the Texans because I thought they were in a crap division.
Bad division.
You didn't like the Texans,
right,
and we were both right.
And they got it.
They might go 8-8 and win the division.
This game should be flexed to London if it's not too late.
I have Dolphins by 3.5.
I had Dolphins by 4, and it's 3.5. So you get that one.
Hey,
exactly.
Who QBs you've seen enough of? You've seen enough. Tannehill, Gabbert, Keenum. Have you seen enough?
Brady. I've seen enough of Case Keenum. I can't even describe what goes on. I had Arizona money line and a lot of parlays. Just I put them on the end. Like, yeah, this looks good. This looks good. How are they making no mistakes? How's a Case Keenum going in there making good throws? Brian Quick, he's been out of the league for 15 years and he gets 2 touchdowns. Oh, I hate this year. And my team's good.
It might just be maybe we just don't bet.
You think?
Yeah, maybe we just stay away.
No,
just bet baseball.
We'll talk off air. I
like week 5.
I have a guaranteed winner.
I like week 5. I think this is a nice week for us. I like the Titans in that game, but keep going.
Where are we? Oh, Houston at Minnesota.
Houston at Minnesota. So I had the Vikings by 6.5, and if they suck tonight, that line drops to probably 4, and if they're good tonight, I think that line climbs to 7.5.
All right. Well, you get the W for this game. I had it at 4, and it's 6. But you're right.
I think
a lot depends on this game.
Yeah, I think the Texans are going to have a lot of trouble moving the ball in this game.
I think they're going to have trouble against good coaches.
Yes.
And I think they don't, this is weird to say, but I don't think they care for the reasons we just gave, to win their outer division games. Like they know they
not
just
the same incentive.
Yeah,
they just got to take care. They got to go like 5-1 in the AFC South and win 4 of their games.
Yeah.
They're good. I do like Will Fuller. I think he's exciting.
Yeah, he is.
I remember Tony took him in our draft.
Mm-hmm. How much did he get for?
I don't even remember, but I was like, who the hell? I didn't even know what team he was on. And he's a real guy.
He gets behind the defenders a lot.
They have skill position guys because I think Lamar Miller is good too. They have 3 guys who can make plays.
And then Hopkins had 1 catch. Like they won a game where Hopkins had 1 catch.
Teams are just double teaming him, taking him out.
Very strange.
Yeah.
Chicago at Indianapolis. This is another clunker.
I have the Colts by 4, and I like I just don't think the Colts should be favored over anybody after what I saw yesterday.
And coming back from London, I beat you here. I said 4.5. It is 4.5, right there in that Vegas zone you talk about. I don't know what's going to be with this game, but I know Andrew Luck is going to be the greatest garbage time quarterback of all time, and it's happening. It's happening. He's going to take the mantle.
From
the
Stafford?
lid from Stafford, I think so.
It's kind of Stafford's thing.
It is. He's going to be way better in garbage yards than Y.A. Tittle was the worst. No, I don't know. No, it was Stafford.
Yeah, I might have to tell Danny Kelly to write this. I need the definitive Andrew Luck playing from behind column.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Once he's down 10, his QB rating has to be like 130.
I called T.Y. Hilton as my fantasy bust, and I think he had like 20 yards to 3.5 quarters, and he like catches a touchdown, and and then who was it? Dorsett caught that long touchdown. Like,
I don't think it's rocket science. It seems like they just have to play hurry up and let him just call the plays and go schoolyard, and they're much more dangerous. When they slow it down and go that's when they fall apart.
Don't play like you're a real team.
Luck, I still watch Luck sometimes and wonder if his shoulder strength is 100%.
Yeah.
Like he does throw some floaters. I would not say he has a cannon anymore, and he's had issues with his shoulder.
Yeah. Well, his shoulders and embedded in the turf half the time. I think that's a problem. Jets at Pittsburgh. Oh, I'm so mad we didn't have Pittsburgh.
This
yesterday.
feels like such a teaser.
So mad.
Steelers 8.5. I had. Let's tease that right now.
I had it high too. I had 8, and it's 6.5. A little worried that it's only 6.5. I mean, what did you see from the Jets that makes you think they should stay in that
Good
game?
D line.
Yeah.
Must-win game for
Is
them.
Revis even out? Is he playing anymore?
Whole season kind of rides on this game. They're not making the playoffs if they go 1-4.
I guess not.
Let's talk about 5-4 Club really quick. Where else can you get hooked up with new clothes for just $60 a month? 5-4 Club has you covered. They'll provide styling advice, recommendations. They'll make you a styling profile. They'll deliver clothes to your door every month or so. 4 style profiles: classic, casual, forward, and mix. Shorts and button-ups when you need them. Jackets and jeans when it gets colder. I love when it starts to get a little chilly in LA.
You do, right?
Yeah, I like when it hits the 70s.
You wear the sweatshirt anyway.
Yeah, I do, but I like when it's actually cold enough to wear it. Free shipping, direct delivery to your doorstep. Clothes come every month or so. It's only $60 a month. Go to 54club.com and use promo code BS at sign up. You get 50% off the first month of 5-4 Club packages. That offer expires at the end of October, so hurry. Again, 54 Club, FIVEFOUR Club.com, promo code BS. I think we're going to do well this week. I see us winning a lot of money this week.
Right. Well, I'll tell you one
So
game.
Steelers, as long as that stays under 8, we can tease them with anybody.
Here's one game we won't be teasing them with. Philly at Detroit.
Wow, Philly just keeps hitting the jackpot with this schedule.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
What a week to play Detroit. I had the Eagles by 3.5. I don't feel good about it.
I said Eagles by 4. You get it? Eagles by 3.
Wow.
And screw you, Vegas, for fixing this line. I'm not falling for it. Not doing it.
Pennsylvania? Any given Wednesday?
Yeah.
The Wentz wagon?
I don't know.
2 weeks, everybody telling him how great he is.
10
Doing
days.
great. You're so good. Hey, I got this commercial for blah, blah, blah. He's feeling great. His head's kind of starting to swell.
Right.
He goes to Detroit and dumb things
2
happen.
weeks to prepare for Detroit.
Let's stay away.
Come off a lousy game. All right, your game is the last of the early ones. New England at Cleveland.
I had trouble with this. You could have talked me into 10. You could have talked me into 14. I went with minus 11. And I think I went too low.
You went a little too high. I went too low. I said 9. I thought Brady, it's still his first week practicing with the team. So I thought it would be about 9. It's 10.5.
So I win that one.
Yeah, you win that one.
Monday's my day, man. I just dominate you on
this.
Mondays.
Yeah, you're up 6-3 or 5-3 with a tie.
The Browns are the most lovable and talented worst team we've ever had in a season. Like, they're clearly the worst team, but they hang in these games. Terrell Pryor is really fun to watch. He's one of the most fun A players in the league.
But they're not hanging in the games. They're starting off well, and they're blowing it. Like maybe their opponent in the second half.
What's that mean? They're never out of it. It's not like they're losing 35-0.
At some point, they realize they're the Browns. But I thought it'd be funny if Brady enters a huddle speaking Italian, just to drive everyone crazy. I was in Italy for the last 13 months. Just to screw with everyone.
Like Cuomo, George.
Yeah, exactly. Let me ask you, on a scale of 1 to Buster Douglas knocking out Tyson, how shocked would you be if the Patriots lost this game?
Hey, 8 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10.
Really? Not even a 10? You don't give it a full 10?
I'm not sold on this being a dominant Patriots team yet. Gronk's not healthy. They still don't have a third down back. Defense has been good, not great. Brady first game back.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Douglas Tyson.
Wow. I think it's right up there.
Okay.
I really do. But there is that no one believes in us. The Browns could keep it close for a while. That's the best they'll be able to do.
By the way, welcome back, Tom Brady.
You're excited,
I got a quarterback
right?
again. I'll tell you what I didn't like is a vision of a world in where I don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, that was a little
Scoring
scary,
0
right?
points and wide open guys, the ball ceiling over their head. It made you appreciate.
I hope for your sake he remembers how to play football.
Yeah.
I really do.
Well, I think he'll be fine.
Atlanta at Denver. Now we're at the late afternoon game. So what's the best early game? Not a great slate there, is it? Jets at Pittsburgh?
That's pretty awful. Probably
Houston,
Steelers.
Minnesota? I don't know.
Yeah, there's really not a good one. Vikings Texans, maybe if the Texans took a lead.
Right.
Steelers Jets could be fun. I don't like any of those games.
Atlanta at Denver.
This is a good one.
This is good.
I find it hard to believe that the Falcons are going to go into Denver and throw the ball all over the place. I have the Broncos by 6.5.
I said 5.5, and I did nail it. It's 5.5 as of this morning.
Is it because of Paxton Lynch's mustache?
I think so.
Did that knock it down? Did you see his mustache?
I didn't see the mustache.
There's a picture of him.
Really?
Shea Serrano had in the Ringers, Winners, and Losers today, where he's got like a wispy mustache.
And that's the winner, or that's
I think that might have knocked the line down.
I don't know if I agree with you. I think Atlanta goes to Denver and Seattle. We're going to find out about them if they're for real. But
so you think Julio Jones could be our first 2,500-yard receiver?
that was amazing. That was just insane. Like when he's on turf, it's going to be a different story with him, I think. And I also think everybody laughed at me when I had 15 of my 18 roster spots filled, and I didn't have a quarterback yet, and I picked up Matt Ryan.
I laughed at you too.
Might be the MVP right now for $1.
I tried to go $2 and we didn't have it.
Oh, you didn't have it, yeah. $2 would have
Great
taken
pick.
it. Thank you.
You also you spread around on Romo
and
Dak Prescott and Ryan.
And Ryan.
Yeah.
$3 on quarterbacks.
Would he give you 40 points yesterday?
I think it was 40.5. Yeah,
it's amazing.
I might be 4-0 if I hold on against Damashek, as long as
what's that?
As long as Beckham doesn't have a crazy game. San Diego at Oakland.
I have Oakland by 4.5. I think I went too low.
No, you were right on.
Okay.
I had 6, and it is 4.5. And I don't know. Maybe this is a game San Diego wins.
Do you think any Raiders listen to our podcast?
Any of the actual Raiders?
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe like one of them?
You know the answer?
No, I don't know.
Maybe
Think like
one.
one of them?
Like 2% of them? Yeah.
All right.
One
If there's a Raider listening to this podcast, you're 3-1. You haven't done anything yet. You need 10 wins to make the playoffs, maybe 11. Don't fall asleep this week on this crap Chargers team that has a tendency of hanging around and playing better on the road and are a little better than their record. Just take care of business. Lay the smack down. Don't get cute. Don't listen to your friends telling you how great you are. Just take care of business. This is, if you're a real playoff team,
I agree.
You win this game. It's not the road game where you upset somebody. You take care of business in a game like this.
Now, the only problem is the only Raider that listens to this is Marquette King, the punter. So he can only do so much.
Well, he can still tell people in the locker room, hey, I was listening to the BS
Get
podcast.
in everyone's ear, Marquette.
They don't have music anymore.
Buffalo they're like us. They don't have music. Buffalo at the Rams.
I don't think Wild Horses could drag me to the stadium for the 7
Really?
hour. Yeah. Just sounds horrible.
It's not
People
good.
were saying it was like they were fried eggs on a pan, just frying.
They were getting
Sounds
boiled
terrible.
like hot water is your best bet for $7. Yeah.
It sounds terrible. I had the Rams by 3.
All right, all three of us nailed this. Me, you, and Vegas.
It's a great line.
All had 3. I wouldn't know which way to go with it. Let me count these up here. I need to run the table to tie.
Okay.
So this is exciting.
Are we done with the late games?
No,
we got
one more.
Oh,
My
yeah.
team. Cincinnati at Dallas.
Woo! I got Cowboys by 3.
I had Cincinnati by 2.5, and it's Cincinnati by 1. Why would you have Cowboys by 3?
I like your team. Can run the ball. I like teams that can run the ball.
Finally, a good defense we're going against.
Is Dez really America's most hated?
Is that what that's what he said about himself,
what he said.
right?
He said he's America's most hated.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No.
Kind of feel bad for Dez. I think he's like emotionally troubled.
Yeah.
Don't we all kind of feel that way? Like
he's just a little
talented guy who's a little troubled.
little immature. You
Yeah.
know? There's worse examples of him.
Would I hire him for the Ringer? No.
You should. Why
No,
not?
I wouldn't. I don't like unreliable
You should hire
people.
him for the Ringer.
I like reliable people.
That's what he's waiting on. All
Oh,
right.
I forgot to tell you, when we talked about the bye weeks and the Chiefs, did you see the Chiefs are 0-7 on NBC night games?
Is that right?
They've never won. They're 0-7
Why
without
don't we
Michaels.
find this out afterwards?
Al Michaels put the evil eye in the Chiefs.
Really?
Yeah, 0-7.
Oh, man.
Thought that was interesting.
Poor Andy Reid.
So we have the 2 night games left. Hold on, we got to say hi to ZipRecruiter. Are you hiring? Sal, are you hiring? hiring
yet.
people for Cousin South Shore thing?
I'm firing. I'm not hiring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do you know where to post your job to find the best candidates?
Where?
ZipRecruiter. Posting
Oh.
your job in one place isn't enough anymore. For the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites. Now you can. ZipRecruiter.com. Post your job to 100 plus job sites, including social media networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any city or industry. Post once, watch your qualified candidates roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 1 million businesses. 1 million. And right now, my listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/BS. Once again, ZipRecruiter.com/BS. Joe, maybe we should post our next BS podcast theme music there. Or I'll just get Picture Me Rolling to come back. I got to know. I'm just...
Aren't you friends with some
I just
musicians now?
Like stuff, stuff.
No, but I mean, like you can have someone like
a musician.
Yeah.
Tupac wasn't legitimate. He's just dead.
No, so that you're
Who's
friends with. I'm
legitimately
saying.
dead.
Like I feel like you're close. I don't want to blow out your friendships on this podcast,
Okay.
but I feel like you know people.
I might know.
Like Josh Gardner.
You think Josh Gardner would do
Get
it?
the guitar and play like a little folksy number.
I think we should have done the Don Julio shot for Monday night.
For Monday? For tonight?
No, I guess we can't. No, I think we did it right. All right.
All right. Giants.
I don't want to make Don Julio mad.
Sunday night. No, you do not. Giants at Green Bay. I do feel like the Giants steal one of these games, don't you? Minnesota or Green Bay?
That's a really tough schedule combo.
I know.
Got the Monday night Minnesota game and then the Sunday night at Green Bay. Like, that's brutal.
They just piss me off. You know they're going to take one of these.
I had the Packers by 5.5 over the Giants.
I had 6.5 and it's 7, so I need one more to tie.
No, it's not going to be this
Good.
next one.
Should we go right to Monday night? Tampa Bay, Carolina. We both picked it, assuming Cam is playing, right?
Yes. I had the Panthers by 7.
And I get it exactly. I had Carolina by 6.
So we tied?
We tied.
Big comeback.
6-6-2. I'm 3-0-1 overall.
I can't wait to find out that you cheated and that I actually won, because you've done that once or twice.
How would I cheat, though?
I don't know. You've
Let's
done
figure
that
out how I
before.
would cheat. I send you my lines first.
You've done it
You
before.
barely sent me yours this morning before
Seen you cheat
I
before.
pulled up here.
Hey,
what's our teaser? Let's just look at this real quick. There's a lot of 6-7 games in there.
Steelers.
Steelers, Packers, Steelers, Panthers.
I'm staying away from Panthers.
Oh man, it's their season.
How about Steelers Vikings? Why are the Texans going to put up points in Minnesota?
Yeah,
Maybe
Could
throw
be
the
good.
Pats in there to get everybody to 10 points.
you're right. It could be good.
So I have one more question for you. Can Cleveland go 0-16?
Sure. Oh yeah. They
Here's the
put their
rest of the
mind to it.
schedule. New England, at Tennessee, winnable.
Mm-hmm.
At Cincinnati, home for Jets, Dallas. At Baltimore, home for Pittsburgh, Giants, Cincy. At Buffalo, home for San Diego. That seems like the most likely candidate. And then at Pittsburgh.
What you said? So home for San Diego. Where was Tennessee game?
They're at Tennessee week 6.
We're gonna get a good feel for them. If
Home
they,
for
if
the
they lose
Jets.
that. Yeah.
In
No,
play.
I think they're. I'm sorry, Hugh Jackson.
We have to talk about baseball.
Yeah.
So
Both of our teams made it.
the baseball playoffs start basically Tuesday with the 2 wild card teams. Your team's playing on Wednesday night, which is one of the reasons we moved this podcast. You would have been a shell of yourself.
Yeah, we tape normally right when that would be
You play
going
the
on.
Giants.
Syndergaard and Bumgarner, City Field.
Who are you throwing? Lucas Duda?
What do you mean?
Who are you
Syndergaard.
pitching? Oh, Syndergaard.
Yeah. I like it. We're the plucky team that no one thought. I mean, we have no David Wright, we have no DeGrom, we have no Harvey,
Strawberry and
no
Gooden
Neil
are gone.
Walker. Yeah, Strawberry and Gooden are gone. You know, obviously we have one game and anything goes, but I like the spot we're in here. I really do.
Very optimistic.
What about you though?
So let's talk about the pennant odds first. Red Sox have the best pennant odds, plus 225. And Texas is also plus 225. Cleveland's 3-1. Mm-hmm. Toronto's 5-1, and Baltimore's 12-1.
Right.
I think Toronto's really good. And if they just win this, the wild card odds always get screwed up. And it's a little like when we had our famous Royals bet that I like to say was famous, but it really wasn't famous. Nobody remembers it. But if Toronto can get through that game and then they play Texas, I think they could beat Texas. I like Toronto.
I do too, but those are bad odds. 5-1 for a team that could. So then if they win if they win the play-in game, they're 2.5-1.
Yeah, it's not. It's almost
bad.
like you bet it series by series.
Yeah, you have to do it.
Yeah, you're right. Those odds should be a little bit better.
Way higher. These wild card teams should each get a bump.
The Red Sox should destroy the Indians with all the injuries Cleveland's had, but the Francona thing worries me.
Well, what about Kimbrel? Like you have a few problems, don't you?
Well, Kimbrel's more than a problem.
What about losing 5 of your last 6?
Well, we did.
I know, but that's what stinks about baseball. Like, when do you want to ideally clinch? Don't you want to ideally clinch like Tuesday
You want to peak a little bit
of the last week?
They laid the smackdown with the 11 game streak, I think.
Right.
But the Kimbrel thing's a real problem. And I don't know how it plays out because Koji was lights out. Kimbrel can't pitch unless it's a safe situation. So it's not like they could just flip them and make Kimbrel the 8th inning guy.
Right.
I don't know what they do. Yeah, I think he walked almost like over 30 guys in 50-plus innings or
Pitching's
something.
tough. It's tough this time of year anyway. And what's even tougher for the Red Sox is our friend Daniel bet them to win the World Series.
When did he do that?
A long time ago. Like in
well, he's done that before and we've won.
Yeah.
We have damn it.
It's a good year for Daniel. I don't know. Maybe it's sold part of his company. Made some money. Maybe it continues. The Red Sox.
We have 3 starters I like, and I love our offense. Mm-hmm. Our offense is really solid. We have like 5 guys that I completely trust in a big spot.
No question.
And it's always tough to win in Fenway. Mm-hmm. Francona worries me, though. The karma of how Francona had to leave Boston, the smear campaign that happened after.
Right.
It just feels like the ultimate revenge. He comes in with this inferior team and topples
Rex
us.
Ryan on Belichick.
Yeah.
It
worries me a little bit. Who would you pick? Yeah, I mean, you follow National League, not American League.
Yeah, so I would, let me see here. Just odds-wise,
I think
I
Toronto
hate to say it, I think there's value in the Giants at 10-1.
All right,
I
I was going to go to that right now.
I think once they get past that, if they got past the Mets, and obviously I'm rooting very, very hard against it, I think there's good value with them.
So if the Giants...
You know how they are.
If they win the wild card, they play the Cubs.
Right. Another team that might have peaked too early. We saw what happened with the Cubs last year. They were excellent. And then it got
103 wins for them?
A little cold, and they couldn't hit in the 3rd week in October.
I don't like any of these teams.
Yeah, they don't get good odds on these. They really don't. Should go game by game.
It does seem like the Red Sox. So to win the World Series, it's Cubs plus 225. Mm-hmm. The Red Sox are plus 600. Texas is plus 600. Toronto is plus 1,200. San Francisco is 18-1.
I want to do a parlay with the teams to not make the World Series and not win the World Series.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I'm going to get odds on that, and then we'll lose when like the Orioles win it or whatever.
Mets Red Sox is 30-1.
Oh, interesting.
The 30-year anniversary.
That's fun.
The worst odds are Giants Orioles.
140?
140-1.
Wow.
That's even worse than Mets Orioles, which is 121.
69 series, yeah.
I don't see the Rangers thing.
How about Cubs?
I don't know
Orioles?
what I'm missing with that one.
Cubs Orioles 25-1. It's a good hitting
thing
team.
with the Orioles is it's an 8-inning game against them because if they have the lead, the game's over.
Yeah.
That guy, he's one of the greatest closers. It's like an Eckersley 1988 season Britain had.
Yeah, and they don't stop hitting home runs for
and they hit
20
homers.
minutes. Yeah.
Homers can be a little dicey in October, though.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to study this more.
I like my team's chances, but I'm also fully prepared for Kimbrel to blow like 2 games in this Indian series and just, what a misfire. If he doesn't come through this month, I mean, they made a big move on him.
Yeah, you need a 4-run lead in the 9th.
I will say Pomeranz as like kind of a hybrid, might start a game, but pitch out of the bullpen guy is kind of an asset. I liked seeing him. He came in relief yesterday.
Right.
And if you have him and you have Koji and I don't know.
It's just tough for these guys to get hot in October.
Ortiz's last season was, I just can't get over it. 38 homers.
I got a lot of tell Bill Simmons that people care about Vince Scully's retirement more than Big Papi's retirement. I got a lot of that this week.
Did he really? Were people mad about the Vince Scully thing? I was genuinely curious.
I think they were just like, who's he think he is? They're talking about Big Papi. Like, it's something so regional.
I would argue people have watched Big Papi play baseball more than they've heard Vince Scully announce baseball.
Well, I think it's the thing where no one over 65 cares about Big Papi and no one under 25. Not no one, but I mean, it's a testament to how beloved he is. He didn't get jumped in the San Francisco parking lot yesterday.
Vince Scully.
Yeah. He's intact.
I really liked how he handled the last few weeks, like the stuff he said. It's
great.
A lot of like, I've said enough.
Yeah.
Enough words have come out of this mouth.
Yeah, right.
And now it's time to do other things. But
that's how we're all going to sign off.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
I don't, as we've discussed many times, I don't understand how people do any form of media by themselves.
Right?
The coward, I don't get. I don't get Vince Scully. I don't get, who are the other ones? Oh, like Mad Dog Russo's by himself for 5 hours.
Oh, yeah,
Francesa.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't think it's an ego thing with Scully either. With some of these other guys you named, I think it kind of is like, nope, I don't want a partner kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not splitting the money with anyone.
Scully is just like, I don't know, it's just so pleasant and maybe unaware of his surroundings, so it works.
You know how hard it is when you hear other people try to do it and you're not good at it?
It's
you
hard.
hear that especially in sports radio.
Yeah.
Coming up, I'm going to tell you why Andrew Luck is like season 8 of Dexter.
Yeah.
Right after this. So like, no, that's going to be terrible.
Right.
What else do we have? Anything?
That's it, I think. Cousin South Shore thing. It was 1 and 2 last week. I have a winner. I'm not effing around anymore. I have an easy winner on Friday. And we're going to give another $1,000 away in our prop bet challenge.
Are you down, up, or even?
I'm 6-6, but I'm down a little money.
Because you lost a couple of best bets.
Right, yeah.
6-6.
2-2 in the best bets.
I think the last 2 weeks were just terrible to gamble on.
I think we have
I don't think anybody out there is going, oh man, I cleaned up again.
Right.
It's just totally wonky, and it's
right.
And maybe we should just not bet in September. I keep going back to the collective bargaining agreement and all these young guys, and maybe it's just stupid. There's just too many young people out there.
All right, I'm going to write that down.
People are not coached yet. Next year,
I'm writing that down.
Bet on week wins. Stay away for the next couple weeks.
And then I'm going to cross it out immediately after I write it down. Jimmy Kimmel Live tonight. Dolly Parton and Ella Purnell.
Dolly Parton?
Yeah, great Dolly Parton. A few of my friends went to see her at the Hollywood Bowl. Said she was tremendous. Not big and fat, but she was excellent.
Thanks again to Simply Safe. Protect your family with 24/7 professional security. No long-term contracts, no hidden fees. $14.99 a month. For a 60-day risk-free trial, visit simplysafebs.com. 2 eyes for Simply Safe. Get free shipping on your order and free keychain remote worth $25. Simplysafebs.com. Thanks again to 5-4 Club. If you hate shopping, let 5-4 dress you. Let them handle making you look good. Go to 5-4 Club and use promo code BS at sign up. Get 50% off the first month of 5-4 Club packages. Offer expires at the end of October, so hurry. Thanks again to Don Julio and Dan Sanborn, America's most prolific breeder.
He loves having sex with his wife. It's unbelievable.
Don't forget about Cousin Sal's Sure Thing Friday on Facebook. Don't forget about Any Given Wednesday. This Wednesday, 10 p.m., HBO. Doug Baldwin, Joel McHale, Michael Rappaport. Don't forget to check out TheRinger.com. And don't forget about 8 other podcast feeds on the Ringer Network. And keeping it 1600, which is especially valuable in this crazy season. What did you think of Alec Baldwin's Trump?
You know what? I haven't seen it. I know it's on American Time. I have seen it. Did you? You liked it?
Good.
Yeah,
it was good. Solid. Yeah. It's almost like I don't know what SNL does when the real thing is a parody, and how do you parody something that's already a parody? It's tough, but they did a good job.
Your cousin and I bet on the debates, which is another one coming up Sunday, and we won a little money. We would have cleaned house if Trump had worn a red tie like he should wear. But he wore a blue tie, and that screwed things up. But
is that true?
Yeah, we should take a
blue
look at these.
Power tie?
Because they have odds like how many times will the word liar be used? How many times will, will Bill DeWall be mentioned? Will Bill Clinton be mentioned?
Law and Order?
Yeah, Law and Order will be
I like that
this
one.
week.
Bring back Law and Order.